Hello everybody, this is the next gen exemplar and I'm going to be showing you a few tricks and tips and tricks with a few cards. Comboing, you can use cards to combo really well to win a game or decide certain factors, manipulate situations and whatnot. But the first combo we're going to go over is one that I use in person. I use one of my machine decks. We're gonna go to house, good goblin housekeeping. Then the second card is gonna be a quick play. Gotta reset that. Forget about that. There's gonna be more of this. Here we go. Okay, now say you have emergency provisions face down, you have good goblin face down, you wait until the opponent's turn. First you flip over good goblin housekeeping, you flip this over, then you flip this over, you send this to the graveyard, and instead of drawing one card you draw two cards, and then plus you get 1,000 life points. Now if you have another good goblin and emergency provisions face down, and you do the same thing, you'll probably draw about 4 cards. You draw 4 cards, and you do so on and so on, and you draw about 6 cards. You keep doing this, it's pretty easy. It's a pretty helpful combo, but it depends on if you draw the housekeeping and the emergency provisions. Most people probably wait out until they can do this combo, because it's really helpful and it saves you a lot. Now, for the Future Fusion machine deck, there's another combo that decides the game. Let's see. Empty the deck. We're gonna go to Future Fusion. One Future Fusion. The only way we can go anyway. And then we're gonna look into just put Chaos. Chaos Necromancer. Then we're gonna go to fusions. The Over Dragon. Okay, pretty self-explanatory. You can either wait it out, make sure your opponent has no more back zone cards or anything, or you can use that as a last resort. You pretty much send every machine in your deck to the graveyard, and see, if you send nearly every machine type from your deck to the grave, this guy comes out to about 60,000 to 70,000, maybe a little less, it depends on how many machines you got in your deck, but usually mine comes out to 60,000 to 75,000. And once that's done, you can summon him. That's like an instant one-hit KO. But once this dragon is summoned, he destroys Future Fusion. So that's why you have to have Overload Fusion as well in your hand. You have to wait out for this combo. If you don't, you can screw yourself over because you won't have any more monsters in your deck. So you can wait this out, or you can play around it pretty easy. So yeah, that's like a one-hit KO. These three cards into a combo, that's a one-hit KO. Plus Overload Fusion, yeah, there's no coming back from that. Now, we're gonna do a quick Yubel build. So we're gonna go into Fiends. Yubel build is pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory. Pretty much you wanna put your deck into the grave as fast as possible. Put 1 Gores. Gores are like a staple in any dark deck, as well as Sangon. And then you want to have 2 of each form. I usually roll with 2 of each form. Some people roll with 3 of his first form, 2 of this form, and 1 of this form. But I usually roll with 2, 2, 2, just in case I go against a remove from play or something. But then again, I always have return from a different dimension as a staple in most of my decks in person, just in case. So once we have those monsters, I want to go to warrior type. 3 Armageddons helps get cards into the grave. 3 Dark Griffers to help unclog your hand. Now it's optional that you can put 2 Dino Dashers or 1 Dino Dasher because he gives you a free summon if you want to get out a strong monster. That all depends on how you're running your Yubel. And you can also, let's see. Where is? I think that's about it with the warriors that we need. You can use him to discard, just in case you get a clogged hand as well. You can use him to discard Yubel to the grave, and he gets a power boost that's permanent. And that's about it. You can use this guy if you want. And if you use him, you have to use Plague Spreader, and that's like an instant combo into Stardust Dragon or something like that. But that's pretty much it with the warriors. And we're going to zombie type. Did I put Beast Warrior? No. Zombies. For the zombies, again, pretty self-explanatory. You can use that guy if you want. And 1 Vampire Lord. So pretty much how this is gonna work. You have this guy in your hand, you can send this guy to the grave. And then you can do his effect again, and we have Yubel in your hand. You can send him to the grave, or which other Yubel form you have in your hand, send to the grave. And send another form of Yubel to the grave. But this one relies on tuners instead of Doom Shaman. Doom Shaman is really important in a Yubel deck. So we're going to take out these guys. We're going to go to Doom Shaman. Let's put Doom. Now, probably asking, I can't use Doom Shaman's effect as soon as I summon up to the field. This card is treated as a normal monster while face up on the field or in the graveyard. While this card is face up on the field, you can normal summon it. So you have it treated as an effect monster with this effect. Once per turn, you can summon a fiend monster type from your hand or either player's graveyard. So if you have this guy on the field, you can summon Yubel, and if he dies, or you use Yubel's effect to sacrifice him, Yubel is gonna die. If he dies, Yubel dies. If you use Yubel's effect to sacrifice him, Yubel still dies, and then you can get out its other form, which this form I think is the best. This form is good if it can kill any monster. It can kill Obelisk, it can kill anybody. So this form right here just brings a lot of chaos to the format. It stops monsters from staying on the field. And most people try to put down the flip effect monster, which I wouldn't even bother to attack. It's risky. Especially if you have like Penguin or something, really risky. So once you do that, so how are we going to get Doom Shaman to use his effect on the first turn that he's summoned? Pretty easy. We're going to go to Silent Doom. Just put Silent for short. Now Silent Doom, special summon 1 normal monster from your graveyard in a face-up defense position. So instantly you can use Silent Doom to summon this guy, then since he's special summoned you can use his effect to bring Yubel. That's already a win. Well, that's already Yubel, actually. Now there's another way to do it as well. Just put Swing for short. Swing of Memory. Special summon 1 normal monster from your graveyard. It is destroyed during the end phase. So if you use this... Shit. Okay, if you use this special summon, again, get Yubel out. End phase, they're both destroyed, and you get this form. Now, another card that we need, I think it's called Limit Reverse, isn't it? Or Over Limit? No. Just put Limit and see if we can find it. Here's Limit Reverse. Limit Reverse brings out Yubel, this form of Yubel from the graveyard, changes the defense, the Yubel is destroyed. It's pretty easy so far to get. This deck makes it super easy to get out Yubel, especially if you use this guy and you have any of these cards in your hand. Or any form. Yeah, this deck makes it super easy to summon Yubel. On your first turn, if necessary, if you can get out Yubel on your first turn, second turn. It all depends on your hand, but again, if you get clogged, like if you draw all your forms of Yubels, you're pretty much screwed. So how do we fix that problem? Pretty easy. I'm gonna go to quick play again. Pretty easy to fix that problem. You can use 2 hand destructions and 1 reload. So let's say you have all your forms of Yubel in your hand. You can use hand destruction to get rid of his first 2 forms, or these 2, or these 2. It depends on what you got in your hand. And you can draw another 2. If you get lucky, you draw this guy or this guy. But if you draw this guy, you're still screwed. So that's why we have Gores, just in case stuff like that happens. So that's about it. Now we need a boss monster, because Yubel alone is not enough to win the duel or decide the duel. So we need a boss. Now you can either use the Dark Creator, or you can use this common trick right here. Okay, there's probably 3 monsters you can use. You can use the Dark Creator, you can use Abyssal Shark, or you can use that 1 dragon monster. We all know who I'm probably talking about. This guy right here. Every time Yubel kills him, he comes back and he blows up the entire back row. Then you get a free attack, because your opponent can't do nothing. As soon as you have this guy and Yubel on the field, it's like an instant win. Your partner might as well just scoop and leave the game. There's nothing you can do about this. Unless you have like a skill drain deck or something, that's probably the only way to stop it, really. But I don't know, it depends on what you can do. Because if you can kill the second form of Yubel and he comes back next turn, Yubel's not going to kill him again. And you can just get rid of Yubel again, and then you can get rid of this dragon somehow. But I usually don't try to roll with the dragon because it's a lot of extra stuff that you have to do, so instead I usually go to, where is it? Aqua. And I'll use, really don't see, I'm moving too fast, I can't see it. It's pretty sure I think I passed him. No, he should be here, or I need to reset. Yeah. Okay, go to Aqua again. Yeah, flip flop, frog. I don't see him. Where is he? Where's my Abyssal Shark? Maybe he's not an Aqua monster, or I just don't see him. He is a fish monster. But you can use 3 of this guy. This deck rolls with a lot of triples. So Yubel cannot destroy this card. Mirror Force can't kill this card. Only cards that can kill this guy is any card that targets it, like not even Fisher can kill him because it doesn't directly target a monster. Really can't think of anything that can really kill him unless somebody has like mind control, brain control, or something like that. That's the only thing to really kill him. He's like a mini obelisk. So yeah, you have this guy, you get free 1700 every time Yubel blows up the field. So that's pretty much it with the cards that we really need. Now to counter traps. Now I wouldn't recommend using Solemn Judgment because they can easily destroy Yubel's forms and you just get left wide open. So the main thing we got to really worry about when we run a Yubel deck is possibly magic cards like lightning vortex or something. So I really don't recommend Dark Bribe either, because your opponent gets a free draw. So I'll use 2 of the 7 bandits and Magic Drain, because they have to discard a spell card in order to negate this card. So we got 36, not 46, 36 cards. So this deck looks pretty good. It has a few problems already by looking at it. Your hand can get clogged pretty easily. Now, you need some assistance to get cards into the grave. And that's about it. Then we can add some, see if we can add some anything else that could possibly help. We still got extra space. Maybe we can roll with an XL Force. No, but we need dark monsters to help out Graffer, so let's use this. Maybe we should use this guy, because if he attacks directly, your opponent randomly discards 1 card. Or sends 2 cards from the top of their deck to the graveyard, and they probably won't have a lot of monsters on the field. This kind of gives you an advantage. Exactly 40 cards. We're gonna save this. Now, if you want to see this deck get played, I'll be more than happy to make a video. Oops. Okay. And that's about it with this episode of Tips and Tricks and Deck Build. So, hope this really helps you out. I'll make another video about different variations of Yubel decks, but this is just one variation using Abyssal Shark as the boss of this deck. So please rate, comment, and subscribe.